Goeiemorgen, goeiemiddag, goeienaand. Welcome to this YouTube video. If you're watching this video in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, it's always a good time to watch some plant to YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to show you all about my trading plants, my plants that's in hanging baskets. In my previous video, I showed you what this room looks like, how I set it up, how I want to use it, and you will see in that video on the shelves behind me there is a lot of hanging or trading plants, and today I'm going to show you all of those as well as some of the other trading plants that I have in this plant loving house. So if that sounds interesting to you, please continue watching further. Almost all of the plants that I'm going to be showing you today are very easygoing. They can pretty much grow in any growing media. You'll see some of them are growing in soil and then others are growing in hydro, which is either leca or pond. They can also grow in a variety of environments. Some of them are in sunny spots in the living room and they've been moved to the bathroom where it only gets morning sunlight, and others are growing happily on the patio outside. So these are pretty easygoing plants. This is very good for beginners. So let's have a look at them. So the very first plant that I'm going to be showing you is the Epipremnum auream. This one is also commonly known as the golden pothos, and that is because it has these green leaves but also these beautiful cream golden color variegation to it. This plant is the mother plant that I probably got quite a while ago. This one I got as my very first plant when I moved back in South Africa, probably in 2021 or so, so it's been a couple of years. And I propagated, so I took some cuttings from this plant and put those cuttings in this vessel, and it's also growing a new plant. This one is happily growing in soil, and this one is happily growing in semi-hydro in leca. So a very versatile plants, very easy to grow in pretty much any media. This one is grown out on the patio where it gets quite bright light during the day. This one previously, before it was in this arts and crafts room, it grew in the bathroom. Both places get very little light during the day, but it's still thriving. So both of these, this one is probably going to grow a little bit quicker than this one, simply because the conditions is better. Because it's getting a lot more light than this one, it'll grow a little bit faster. Perfect for beginners. If you want to see a plant that grows a leaf every single week, this is the one that you need to get. In South Africa, this is a pretty obtainable plant. You can get it at pretty much any nursery. This one I got at a local nursery called Pot and Plant Savers in Midrand, and it was really affordable. This is the plant that started the whole plant journey. Before I got this plant, I only took care of peace lilies, and I had no clue as to how to look after this plant, and I decided to turn to YouTube to see how people are growing this plant. And that one video led me to look at other videos, and it led me to look at replant videos, and here we are 200 plants later. So all of our plants in the house can thank this one for being here. The next plant that I want to show you is the Epipremnum Cebu Blue, and this is a beautiful silvery leaf plant. I absolutely love the longer narrow shaped leaf. This one is a little bit less common in South Africa, so it's not easily available in your local nursery. I got it from a rare plant shop in Brits, and the plant nursery is called Plantea. The next two plants that I'm going to show you are philodendrons. This one is called Philodendron hederaceum, but is also known as the heartleaf philodendron, and it's quite easy to see why that is. It has a beautiful heart-leaf shape and it has a very dark leaf. So this one is the Philodendron Brazil. Same as the heartleaf philodendron, it also has a very dark leaf to it. But this one is a little bit unique because it has the lighter green here in the middle. Both of these plants are also super easygoing. They can live in a variety of conditions. They have started in the living room where it gets bright light in the afternoon, and then they've also lived in the bathroom where it gets light in the morning as opposed to the afternoon. and quite a bit of humidity because of the showers. Currently, they are living outside on the patio and they are getting whatever conditions nature wants to provide to them. In all three conditions, they are thriving. They are very easy to obtain here in South Africa and they can be obtained in pretty much any nursery. These ones are found in a nursery in Sandton called Monstera. Very, very nice place to check out. The next two plants that I'm going to show you, yes, there's two different plants in this pot. They kind of look the same, but if you look very closely, you would be able to see the difference. So one of them is Philodendron lemon lime, and the other one is neon pothos. So we've seen the greener versions earlier. This is the lemon lime or the neon versions of those plants. So pretty much the same as those ones, pretty easygoing, can grow in different environments. This one is currently in a self-watering pot, which makes life very easy for me, where I just need to fill up the reservoir and the wick system pretty much wick out any water that the plant needs. These two plants have quite distinct characteristics. Even though they look very, very similar, they do have very distinct characteristics. One really obvious one that I can show you at the moment is the philodendron, is the one that comes out with a little bit of a pinkish color and then it turns into the lemon lime color, whereas the neon pothos just comes straight out of the bag with its original lemon or neon green color. These ones are a really nice addition to any home because it brings that pop of color, a little bit of a contrast to the dark green leaves that you normally see with plants. As you can see, this one does have a little bit of damage, and it's not because the plant is difficult. It is literally just because I moved Hoya about a month ago and there is some mechanical damage that the movers caused on this plant. But other than that, the new leaves are looking in sublime condition. The next plants that I want to show you is Philodendron micans, and what makes them so special is they are velvety, so they have velvety texture to it. The one on this side is the Philodendron micans variegated. So it just means that it has a green leaf to it, but it has some variegation, some white or some yellow in the leaf as well. These plants are very difficult to find in South Africa. You pretty much have to import them. The variegated micans I got from a company called When in Bloom, and they are probably the fastest importers in South Africa. They normally go to shows like the Bangkok International Plant Show, and they source plants specifically for us in South Africa. The one on this side, which has a little bit of a different leaf shape to it, it's very elongated, but also have that green, and it's also velvety like the normal micans, but it also has a little bit of a white in there. This one is called Philodendron micans halo. When it initially came to me, the very first leaf that it had a little bit of a shock, and it gave me the normal micans leaf shape. But the subsequent ones, they are this beautiful, variegated, very elongated leaves. So like I said, these ones are quite rare in South Africa. You can't find it in nurseries. You kind of have to go to the rare plant shops to get them. But really easygoing. This one is in semi-hydro, which is pond, and I also keep a reservoir just at the bottom of it. So I just fill it when it gets low, and the pond basically wicks up when the plant needs the water. So really excited to see what this one does for me in the upcoming growing season because I haven't had it for that long. So really excited to see. The next plant that I want to show you is called a spider plant. This one is not technically a trailing plant, but it does send out these pups that is lower than the pot, and that's why I decided to include them. The unexpected surprise that I got with this plant that I really, really enjoy is that they do produce flowers. It is a very dainty white flower. It doesn't last very long, but it does come along, and it doesn't have much of a fragrance, I think. This one is available pretty much everywhere, very easily obtainable at pretty much any nursery. This one I also got at Pot and Plant Savers in Midrand. This plant is in a self-watering pot, and I only fill up the reservoir when the plant needs it, and it lives outside on the patio, so really relies on the conditions that it gets outside from nature. The next plant that I want to show you is Hoya polyneura. When you look from afar, it does look like a plain green leaf, but when you look up close, you will see the veins of this plant. appears a little bit darker, and you will also see some silvery speckling on this plant. This is such an enjoyable plant because it has such a unique leaf shape. It always throws two leaves at a time, one going to the left, one going to the right, and it kind of looks like fishtails. It is just so interesting. I absolutely enjoy growing this plant. It hasn't been in the collection for quite a long time. As you can see, it's still growing, but I'm really excited to see what this one brings in the new growing season. This plant I also don't think that you can find in your local nursery, so you will have to go to a rare plant shop to find this one. The next plants I'm going to show you are Monsteras. This one is called Monstera siltepicana. It is green, but then it also has some silvery parts to it. So it brings a nice silvery look to the normal green leaves that you see in the house. This one is a small form. You can see that it doesn't have any type of fenestrations yet. This one will only get fenestrations once it is mature, and you can only achieve maturity with this plant when it is climbing and not trailing like this. So this plant will probably not fenestrate for me as long as I keep it down. It is also not the goal for it to fenestrate. It is literally just for it to be quite bushy. It is quite long, but quite sparse around the top of the plant. And in spring or summer, I will probably cut the bottom ones and then propagate it, put them on top so that it can have that lush feel and look to it. This one is called Monstera adonsonii, as you can see, with the fenestrations that's inside of the leaf. This one is a variegated variety, and I think it is the indo type. Quite an easygoing plant. I haven't had it all that long. Not gonna lie, it is not my favorite plant in the collection. Really enjoy it. If I didn't get it for free, I probably wouldn't buy it for myself. It grows quite well. It's been in a brighter spot, but it's also now been in a little bit of a lower light situation, and it's still doing well. But it is quite a cool leaf shape. Someone once told me that it looks like snails got to this leaf, but the snails must have had quite a good pattern that they took, because it's actually a really nice plant. The next plant that I want to show you is also not a trailing plant. It's actually a plant that prefers to climb. This is Hoya carnosa. Pretty easily available in South Africa. You can pretty much get it at any plant nursery. This one is quite unique because it does send out quite different type leaves. So you'll see on this one, it has the white leaves with a green border. Then you can also see on this plant it has this dark green leaf with some silvery speckles in it. This one I've had for about 2 years, I think. It hasn't flowered for me. I'm patiently waiting for those flowers to come along. But hopefully in the next growing season we will see some beautiful flowers on it. The last one that I want to show you is actually 3 plants. This is Scindapsis. So the plain silvery one is called Silver Hero. Then you also have the bigger one that has the dark leaf with the silvery, that's called Silver Splash. And then you get a smaller leaf compared to the Silver Splash, but it also has a little bit of silver in it, and this one is called argyreaus. Seeing that they are all Scindapsis, I decided to put them in one pot, and I actually really like the different look of it. These are plants that like to climb. If you don't give it a pull, you will probably see leaves that grow like this, where it is extremely sparse. So the goal with this is pretty much similar to the siltepicana. Come springtime, I will probably chop it and propagate it, put it back into the top, and then make it a little bit more of a nice lush looking pot of Scindapsis. So that is all of the plants that I'm growing hanging baskets and trading down, and I will see you in the next one. Have a lekker day further. Bye bye.